Sean, it's time to train.
Hey everybody, I'm Sean.
I'm Rob. This is Templated Talks. So, once again, another great week of questions, which we really appreciate. So we'll launch right into that with Josh H. asks if we've ever thought about playing a horror game. He thinks we'd enjoy a game like Outlast, or also apparently the new South Park game, which I didn't know was a horror.
No, it's not. He's giving two separate suggestions.
I gotcha. Well, as far as the horror goes, I guess we'd kind of talked about it, but never...
Yeah, we brought it up, but right now any kind of horror game that we do would probably be another long-form Let's Play. And we try not to have more than two of those going at once. Rochard's almost done, but we got something ready to take its place. If we finish Dark Souls 2, though, we got to do something else, so maybe then. We certainly haven't ruled out a horror game. We think it'd work well, because... we're less about the gameplay and more about our reactions to it and what we babble about in the meantime. So I think a horror game could work with us.
Yeah. As far as the South Park game, I don't know if we could put that on YouTube.
No, they're okay with it.
Are they?
Yep.
Wow, I'm surprised. I guess we could. It seems like it was kind of a flash in the pan.
I think it's hit its peak. It might last a little longer, but again, by the time we have time to do it, I think its heyday will have passed. Maybe we'll revisit it later, but that one's not on the docket. Thanks for recommending it, though. We like recommendations, even though a lot of them get ruled out either because of the channel or copyright regulations or anything like that. There's a ton of reasons that we just can't do a game.
Yeah.
Like, can't do a single Nintendo game.
Not a one.
Nope. But Josh H. also had a question for us. He said, we've been given knowledge of the impending zombie apocalypse 1 week in advance. What do you do other than rob stockpiling ammunition?
Well, I've already got a pretty good stockpile, but I guess it would depend on the knowledge. Like, if I knew that there would be, like, a patient zero in a week, that's different than if I had, like, a Cassandra-like vision of the fate of humanity, or if I just got, like a dossier that was, this guy right here, located here, starts the zombie apocalypse.
I'm assuming you're just getting... The zombie apocalypse starts in 1 week. And what you know.
I don't know, because you would hate to, like, go on, like, a spree, max out all your credit cards, steal everything you need, and then it turns out the zombie apocalypse gets handled in, like, 3 days, mostly by high school kids who have been prepping for this. Because, that's the thing. All zombie movies and zombie games and shows, everything, exist in a world without the zombie, like, cultural phenomenon. So everybody's like, oh no, they're just sick, or what do we do? If a zombie came shuffling down our street right now, real simple, walk out, right in the head. None of that body shit, none of the like, oh, but it's my mom. No. Game over, done. We all know how to handle it.
Yeah. I think I'd just kind of have fun for a week and then get ready to eat a bullet when I see the first walker, because I ain't gonna fare well. I have to take regular medication that will not be regularly available, so I would probably die within a couple of weeks anyway, and I'd rather shoot myself when the time comes than get eaten.
That is something that I've thought about. I wear contacts.
Yep.
There ain't going to be no fresh supply of contacts in the...
Switch to glasses.
Apparently. Well, even then, you break your glasses. You just have to wander around trying on random pairs till you find one that's close.
You find a Lions donation box and just milk it.
Right.
Nope. That'd be a good trade good. If you keep them from breaking, you could be the guy with all the glasses.
I have a friend of mine. He was working on his master's.
Mm-hmm.
They did a project where they were running. It was just for a computer program that they use in public administration, but it was a measuring responses. And they said if the zombie apocalypse happened, and they just programmed in the factors of like a zombie-like disease.
Okay.
What does it take to stop it? And he said 100% of the time, if you have an active populace fighting against it, it screeches to a halt in like 3 days.
Oh, yeah.
Like if people are acting like they do in the movies, where it's, you're ruined. But if you act like the movies tell you not to act, it wipes it out. Because everybody and their brother gets an axe, doesn't let themselves get bit, minds their P's and Q's, and kills the neighbor.
And if it happens in a place like America, where guns are so prevalent, it's super easy. But even in England or Japan, where they don't have a lot of guns, they got hatchets. There are people with shotguns in the rural areas. The Zeds are dead.
Well, even better than that, they have an army.
There you go.
And they have an army filled with people who've seen zombie movies.
There you go.
So it's, no, don't shoot them in the stomach. Headshot, headshot, headshot.
Yeah, a real zombie apocalypse I don't think would hit the kind of scale we see in the movies.
No, it wouldn't.
Moving on, Joe Winters asked what our favorite scary movie is. I liked the first one. I thought the sequels were very derivative, and they got away from the parody format and tried to just be a silly movie. Oh, he meant the genre.
Yeah, I'm going to make that joke too, actually. No.
Boom! Joke stealer.
Yeah. No, for me, it's Paranormal Activity.
It's a good one.
And my reasoning has always been anything that has a body that bleeds dies. Monster movies like werewolves and shit like that don't bother me because it's, sure, I get it, you shoot it and it heals. What if I rip its head off and set the whole thing on fire? What if after you rip its head off, you also pull its eyes out? I mean, you can get fucking vicious. But if it has a body and it has organs, it can die. But when you've got a fucking...
Wolverine can't die.
Sure he can.
Neither can Deadpool.
You could... Well, Deadpool can't because he has mysticism.
He has a body.
Well, yes. He could die if you had just erased him. But at any rate, with a ghost, I mean, that shit's just like... What do you do?
Sam and Dean use shotgun shells loaded with salt.
Okay, which helps if you can see it.
And then salt the body and burn the bones.
Again, helps if you can see it. And, I mean, not to spoil Paranormal Activity, but it's not even really a ghost. It's a fucking demon. But it's...
Oh, well, shit. They're good with those. Fuck.
I mean,
just get Castiel to deal with it.
Well, like, there was a part in the first movie where... Because it's a guy and his, like, fiancé or wife or whatever, and he comes home... Or I think they're just dating, but he comes home and, like, there's this picture on the wall, and there's a claw mark through his face.
Yeah.
Or no, it's through her face. And that's when I'd have been like, sorry, bitch, I'm out. You're hot and all. Tits are on, that tit game is on point. But you got too much demon baggage. I'm done. Peace.
My favorite horror movie, I think I would go with I think this is the name. It was a Guillermo del Toro movie. It was in Spanish. I think it was called The Orphanage. Orphan. I think that was it.
Yep.
But it's about this woman who grew up in an orphanage, and she ends up moving into the house that used to be the orphanage she grew up in, and the ghosts of the people that died there, and her dead child, and all that. And it's got this scary moment where she's basically playing red light, green light with ghosts, and it's unsettling. Because she's going, it's un, dos, tres, toca la bella. And she turns around. And it's basically red light, green light. But she does that, she turns around, nothing. She does it again, turns around, nothing. Does it again, turns around, silhouette standing in the doorway. And she sees it. So she's like, uh-oh. She turns around real slow, does it again. Turns back, a bunch of children standing in the room. Turns around, does it again, hand on the shoulder, and then they all run off and she chases them.
See, I wouldn't keep playing the fucking game.
She's trying to communicate with them to figure out what's wrong.
See, that's the fucking problem. If
the ghosts are actually benevolent in this movie.
Fuck that. Their existence is malevolent to my well-being. If I ever live in a house and that, like, wall bleeding, getting scratched up, shit flying thing happens, it's real simple. Call up my insurance company, cancel the policy. Call up the fire department, ignore the calls. And get a gas can. Alright, you Casper motherfuckers. Torch it. Stand in the yard, just watching it burn.
Joe also asked, who's better, Discord or King Sombra? We haven't finished watching this season of My Little Pony. So, Discord wins!
Yeah, and I don't know who King Sombra is, but he probably doesn't hold a candle to Discord.
Yeah, because Discord is basically Q gone cartoony, because John Delancey likes to play characters that fuck with people, apparently.
And not for nothing, he drank the glass of a glass of chocolate milk.
There you go.
That's hard fucking core.
Moving on, Mohammed Mokhtari asked if we would do more roguelike games, like Binding of Isaac, Rogue Legacy, yada yada. I played Dwarf Fortress. I don't think anybody wants to see that. But as far as just procedurally generated games, well, yeah, sure, we're not ruling them out. It's just, when we have time to play more games, we'll play more games.
And, not for nothing, I did play The Binding of Isaac, if anybody wants to watch it.
Yeah, he was saying more. Feed him more, Rob!
Well, I didn't know if Muhammad was with the channel back when we did.
Well, being YouTube, you can go back.
Yeah, if he knows to go back. Now you do. If you didn't, you know that, yeah, we did Binding of Isaac.
Yep, Rob played it. Did pretty well, considering it was his
first time ever even seeing it.
Yeah, you played it for 30 seconds. Well, watch me play it for 30 seconds when I showed you the controls, and then I handed them to you, and you were like, ah.
Yeah.
But, yeah, we're not ruling them out. It's just, one of the things we're trying to add to the channel is we're going to try to do some shorter videos. Probably our showdown videos are going to be much shorter now. Something that's easier to share. But, yeah, roguelikes aren't ruled out. They're on the list like everything else.
There you go. Now, 101 Terror Fiends asked if, I mentioned in episode 5 that me and my friend Craig have run into some people who have childlike appearances despite their massive size, and that has caused us trouble.
I think it's interesting that you live a life where that's a repeated occurrence.
Well, and he asked if I'd tell another story like that, and the answer is yes. I will tell another. Craig and I were camp counselors one summer. It's the same summer I lost the hearing in this ear. And, separate story entirely. So, we have been at camp a couple of weeks now, and we both just smell like rotten assholes, so it's time to go do our laundry. So we have to go out to like a laundromat. So we go wandering around this town, and we finally, well, first we play the lottery and we go to Starbucks. Then we see some laundromat out in the middle of nowhere, and it's like, hell yeah.
As you do.
So we roll in there, and we do our laundry, and there's this guy in there already. And, you know, I'm 6'4", 300-some pounds. Craig's about 6'2", 180 of unpinchable climbing muscle. This is back when I was rowing for my college. He was climbing daily. We cut an impressive figure. This guy was an inch taller than me, and I guarantee you 10% wider through the shoulders. This much on either side of me.
Damn.
Massive.
That's a big motherfucker.
Shaved head, the whole deal. So we walk in, and Craig has all these theories about, like, if you engage people, they're less likely to do violence against you.
That's a common theory, actually. Make eye contact with someone who's threatening you. Address them as a person.
So he starts trying to talk to this guy, you know. Hey, man, what's your name? That sort of thing. Talking to him, where you from? And he's really dodgy about it, you know. Like really not giving consistent answers, not really talking.
Mm-hmm.
So then the guy leaves. But his laundry's still there. He just steps out and walks off. So he and I are fucking panicking. Because it's, shit, man. What if he's just going to get his buddies? I mean, the two of us could probably take him, but Jesus, Mary, and Joseph, what are we going to do if there's 3 of them? And this is the plan we come up with. You know those poured concrete picnic tables? Well, not picnic tables, I should say. Like, you see them on people's porches. They're a big round table on, like, a concrete...
Oh, yeah.
Here's the plan. This is what we come up with. They show up. Before they can come in and trap us in there, we go out. Kick over that picnic table. I pick up the base of it and swing this thing for all I'm fucking worth. Because the first person I catch with an 80-pound slab of concrete dies. It doesn't matter where I hit you, you die. Now, as for the rest of his buddies, it's put up the good fight while Craig just runs to go get help. hopefully bringing back help in time for them to at least give me a Christian burial and hope they haven't touched my face. This is the plan. Because it's like midnight, 1 in the morning on like a Monday.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
So, the guy comes back, and he's by himself. Oh, praise God. Wait, maybe he has a knife. So we still have the plan, but I decided to talk to him. Now,
other than his size and his dodgy answers, was there anything that was giving you a threatening vibe from this guy that you should be worried about these sort of things? Anything at all?
The dodgy answers, but he also just had that look, of somebody who is not above committing violence.
Shifty looking or violent looking?
Both. Actually.
Both, okay.
Yeah.
All right, I understand your concern. I can picture the kind of look.
Right. So I start talking to him like, man, you're a big dude. You play any football or anything? He goes, yeah, I play now. Oh, play for the local college? No, I play for Cleveland Middle School. Record scratch? I'm sorry. Did you say Cleveland Middle School? What grade are you in, my man? I'm in the 8th grade.
Whoa. What? What?
So I say to him, I go, buddy, pretty big for your age. He goes, yeah, I get that. Like, yeah, I was a big kid myself, but damn, son, you got a future on you. Now, right about then, our laundry's done, so we get the fuck out of there. And we kind of figure, here's the deal. Here's a 14-year-old who was clearly terrified. He was giving us dodgy answers
because you scared the shit out of him.
2 grown-ass adults are hitting him up at the laundromat.
Holy shit.
Yeah. And I'm like, we just plotted the murder of a 14-year-old, like, straight fucking up.
Jesus.
And that was the thing. He was this massive dude. But he was only 14. He was terrified.
God.
And then I got really sad because I was thinking, man, when I was 14, I didn't have to walk to the fucking laundromat to do my laundry. And even if I had asked to do that, my mother would be like, no, I'm not letting you do that. What sort of life does this kid have that's his reality?
Damn.
So we went to a Walgreens and cleaned out their candy aisle and drove back and just handed him this giant bag. And we're like, hey man, 8th grade's hard. And just drove away. But yeah, I was legit thinking I was going to have to pick up this and just wham.
If we ever get big enough that guy hears this story, I need to hear his side of it. I need to hear what was going on in his mind. What were you talking when you said Cleveland Middle School? Was it Cleveland, Tennessee? Or
yes.
That was the name of the town?
Yes.
Okay, that's not that far from chat, actually.
Yeah, I had never really been to it, which is why we were wandering around.
Yeah, there's not a lot there.
Well, and I would realize later we were kind of in the poor part of town.
Yeah.
But I've since drove past that laundromat.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Well, there's some row houses nearby, which is where we figure that kid lived.
Yeah.
For all we know, he went home to try and tell somebody. A couple of guys are menacing me, and no one gave a fuck.
Damn.
Like it was breaking my heart.
Wow. Well, moving on from that, we got another question. I like to shoot zombies, asks us, any fictional or real creature to serve as a loyal war mount?
Now let me just ask this, because if you're offering me the plethora of fictional creatures that could literally be anything, who in their right fucking mind goes, I've kind of always wanted to see a zebra?
I've got a response to that. You want to know what real creature I would like to have as a war mount?
What?
Vladimir Putin. Just because I think it would be amusing.
First off, we all know that Vlad would be mounting you.
No. It says, as my loyal war mount. So, Vlad Putin is carrying me around, either piggyback or on his shoulders, or perhaps even, princess carrying me, performing my commands as we charge into battle. And I think having Vladimir Putin carrying you around, battle or otherwise, is worth the story.
The only way he carries you into battle is as a club.
But to give a more serious answer, I'm taking the Tarask from Dungeons and Dragons.
I had sex in high school.
It is literally immortal. It is Godzilla-sized. It regenerates so fast that if it weren't literally immortal, who gives a shit anyway? And the only way to stop it, it's listed as a sort of an end game. It's an obstacle, not a monster to beat.
Yeah.
The only way to stop it is essentially divine intervention.
Wow.
I'll take that, motherfucker.
Are sapient creatures allowed?
Vladimir Putin.
Mogo. Riding a motherfucking planet, son. Charge, Mogo.
At what point does something get so big you can't mount it?
Well, ladies.
I don't think you could... Well, I mean, you could be on it.
There you go. All you have to do to mount it is to sit on it.
I think that's exploiting a technicality.
Mogo gives no fucks what you care.
But the internet cares.
I'm sticking with Mogo. Or the immortal dragon from Dragon Ball Z.
Okay, that's at least mountable, sort of.
But I don't want the Earth one, that Chinese-style snake fucker. I want the Namekian one. One what got fingers and claws.
Okie dokie. Gamer asks if we've played the Batman Arkham games, and if so, what's our favorite and why? I haven't played Origins. I've only played Asylum and City. Have you played either?
You let me play for like 2 minutes one time.
That was Arkham City.
Yep.
I liked City better because it was more open world. And had more, I thought the combo system was a little more fun. Not a bad game. Haven't played Origin, though, so...
He also was saying that he, because he asked us a question previously about Spider-Man, and about how, he would ask about DC, and the answer is yes. You should always ask about DC. It's the only thing that matters.
Uh-huh. It's not that Marvel questions are bad, it's that A, Rob doesn't know much Marvel, and B, I didn't read the Ultimate series, so asking me about Ultimate Spider-Man, I got nothing for you, man. Sorry.
Now is that all our questions?
Yeah, that gets us through the questions, and looks like...
Something did happen this week that I think is interesting. I meant to ask you about it earlier.
Uh-huh.
You've seen on the internet's new, favorite anime is called Kill la Kill.
Yeah.
You know anything about it?
I've heard of it. I've seen some cosplays of it, both charming and distressing.
You know what? It's on Netflix, and I know Netflix bases what they do based on what's the most pirated.
Yeah.
Let me just say this. I don't believe in fan service. I think it's awful, and I think it ruins quality shows. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Holy shit. There's something manifestly wrong with the world where that fucking show exists.
There you go.
There is no Rule 34 of Kill la Kill, because they beat that shit to the punch, yeah. They're like, no, Internet! Fuck you! We beat you to the punch!
From the gravity-defying boobs that just literally have shoulder straps that go...
No, and suspenders. Yep. And suspenders.
Well, the one has suspenders. The other one doesn't even have that.
Right. But here's the thing. In every scene, there's a needless sexualization or sex act. The mom of the family the main character's shacked up with always has, D's on display. It's never a plot point.
Is it worse than High School of the Dead?
Yes, absolutely.
It is worse than that?
Absolutely.
Then it's really bad.
And I'll tell you another reason why it's worse. I never saw a vulva in High School of the Dead.
Wow.
Not to mention when I say that there's just there's a scene where the characters are on a trolley.
Yeah.
And it's just dialogue. And in the foreground...
Background or...
No, foreground, because they're kind of going in the background. Foreground in the corner, 2 dogs humping. Needlessly! That did not need to be there. It added nothing. It's just 2 dogs humping.
On a kind of related note, have you seen the things about Hyrule Warriors?
Yes. Oh my god, I'm excited for that.
Yeah, you want to know what the villain is?
What?
The villain is a scantily clad woman, again with gravity-defying boobs and a costume that barely just covers the nipples. Yes, for a Zelda game, that's the villain. And you want to know what her motivation is? She fell in love with a hero and became so consumed by jealousy that she turned to evil. This is the villain of a Zelda game. Her costume is pretty much on par with Kill la Kill.
No way.
Yes way. You want to know why it's so bad? Because Team Ninja makes the game. Team fucking Ninja. Every fucking thing they are giving to work with, they just beat him to the ground and slap tits on it. Badly drawn tits.
You know, I'm all about some titties. I am. But I like them in person. Or at least like them to be pictures of real ones. I don't get the whole beating off to a cartoon, but it's a Zelda game. It has literally novels worth of lore and background material. There's an entire book explaining the complex web of continuums. All you need is to have Ganon! That's it, just Ganondorf is marching a fucking army on the castle. Link rises to defend it. Game.
And I mean, they did add some other neat characters. I think her name is Isma, or Isra, something like that. And she has a pretty cool costume. It's you know, it makes her look good while still making her look kind of tough. It shows off just a little bit. It's not a great suit of armor, nothing you would actually wear. But within video game reasons, it's very reasonable. But then they've got the scantily clad chick with pasties and a motivation purely born out of jealousy.
Well, now, is she like a caster type of some sort?
I don't know anything about her abilities. We haven't gotten much information about her. We just got a little bit of her backstory and her art. And she's wearing things that anime would blush at using. It's not good. It's nothing I haven't seen in video games before, but it's Zelda! It's a Zelda game.
Inappropriate, for sure, but yeah.
Yeah.
And again, Kill la Kill. First off, the plot revolves around clothes. Fucking retarded. But there is no need for the weird thong part of her costume to separate the vulva. You do not need to see her labia major in order to enjoy a cartoon. You don't! But they decide that you fucking do. And like, you want to talk about physics defying? Mm-hmm. When she activates her costumes, no joke, her tits flop like this.
See, in practice, I don't have a problem with the existence of hentai because it's clearly labeled for the people who want hentai.
This isn't hentai.
I know. That's what I'm saying. But when you get close to it without actually getting there in something that didn't fucking need it, it's pointless.
You know what's weird about it is the villain and the hero kind of make the same argument that the villain and hero in hentai common make.
Really?
Yeah, because the villain, it starts off with the hero's costume is like sucking her dry of blood. Mm-hmm. And the villain just puts it on and is like, what up? Yes, I'm naked. That is my vagina. And the argument is because she embraces it and she's fine with it. And she's actually wearing, you know, this uniform. And the hero just has it on. So the hero has to come to terms with having her shit flopped out in order to really activate the power. And it's kind of like, when I heard it, I was like, that sounds just like fucking hentai common. But
those of you who don't know what hentai common is,
Sean's favorite movie.
It's a manga / anime / my new favorite movie. It's about a guy who gains superpowers when he puts panties on his face. Yes, it's magnificent. Yes, you should watch it right now.
But yeah, and they make that same argument, and I'm like, and you know what? None of the main characters ever engage in a sex act at all. Mm-hmm. Now, dogs will fuck, and there's tons of, like, nudity. But most of the characters chastise the hero for having, you know, everything on display. But all of that pales in comparison to the fact that it exists.
I mean, is it supposed to be like a ham-handed anti-slut-shaming thing? Like they tried to do with Starfire, and then it got a hold of writers who didn't understand subtlety?
Right. I think no. What I honestly think it is like the furthest edge of shonen.
Yeah.
You know, it's not hentai. There are no real sex acts to speak of. But it is not Shaman King either.
Yeah.
It is just that furthest edge where it's... They never show you a nipple. They never show you, anything that only your gynecologist is going to see. But they all about that camel toe. They about that camel toe life now. It's just... When I saw it on Reddit as this big phenomenon, I was like, huh. Some cute girls, the girls doing the cosplays. It's like, some cute girls, but the fuck sort of costumes are those? And then I thought maybe they were doing like a sexualized version of a male hero. Very common. Then I saw more of it, and I was like... And I started seeing crossovers with other animes. They do, like, Gurren La Kill. And it was Kamina in one of those costumes. I was going, now hold up just one fucking second. I think this Kill la Kill might be some sort of perverted thing. And then Netflix had it, and I was like, Netflix. What the fuck, guys? But alright, let's see. Click play. Oh, what am I? Am I on a watch list for this? Stop!
You want to know what's funny? I saw a picture today. It's posted of 3 guys doing Kill la Kill cosplay. Mm-hmm. And, I mean, they were not, they weren't like Sailor Bubba with a big hairy gut. These were fit, muscular, toned guys.
You saved that picture, didn't you, Hans?
Well, of course I did. I gotta have material. No, they really were good-looking guys. But somehow, the chest costume made it look dirtier, even though it's guys. If they had just taken it off completely, it would have looked less revealing. You know what I'm saying? Mm. If they were less clothed, it would have looked less explicit.
Yeah, because the uniforms are a lot...
Don't get me on the fucking little tiny things they had wrapped on them. Because they didn't give me any close-up images, and I'm pissed.
Yeah. Now, the uniforms are alive, and they need your blood to have a connection with you.
Well, maybe that's why they're going up in...
No, because she actually...
Because 1 week out of the month, that's a feast.
No, the chick actually has a glove that cuts her wrist.
Period joke.
Like goth kid style.
Yeah.
Like she's got a glove with a little razor and just goes whoop, whoop. And, like activates it. And I'm like, this bitch just cut herself. Like, cross the street there. Playing a little of that arm violin.
Well, we've been going a little bit longer than we normally do, but that's this week's Tin Plated Talks. Thanks for watching. As always, give us your questions and your comments down below. We'd like to hear them. We try to get to every single one of them that we get. Like, comment, subscribe, follow on Facebook, the Twitters, the Twoodles, the Snapchats. We have an Instagram now. Is there something we're missing?
Nope, that's about it.
Nobody's harassed you for a diaspora yet?
Not yet.
I don't even know if that ever became publicly available or if they got their VC money and buggered off with it.
I don't know, but...
See you next time.
Bye, guys.